You know, it just sits there in our living rooms, doesn't it? A silent observer of our daily lives. But that simple screen holds an absolutely incredible story of innovation, culture, and connection. Today, we're going to unbox the history of the device that didn't just show us the world, it literally changed it. We're talking about the television. So let me ask you something. How many hours have you spent in front of this box? No, really, think about it. The moon landing, your favorite cartoon as a kid, the breaking news that made you stop everything. That box has been the backdrop to our collective memory. So let's unpack how it earned such a central place in our lives. All right, so here's our game plan. We'll start with the simple idea of the box itself and why it was such a big deal. Then, we'll take a journey through time, from those fuzzy black and white screens to stunning HD. We'll see how it became our window to the world, how it got smart in the digital age, and finally, we'll tackle the big question. What is its true legacy? Okay, let's kick things off with a foundational idea. This was never just another gadget. It was a cultural force. You see, before television, most people's worlds were pretty much limited to their own town or neighborhood. This box changed all of that, forever. At its core, this is television's magic trick. It fuses sounds and moving pictures to transmit, well, just about everything. News, stories, culture. Suddenly, the entire human experience could be beamed directly into your living room. It's kind of amazing when you think about it. And here's the real key. It wasn't just a device we owned. It was a device that shaped our days. It became like the third voice at the dinner table, the centerpiece of family gatherings, that urgent glow we all turned to when the world was holding its breath. But that central fixture in our homes didn't just appear out of nowhere. Oh no, its journey from a clunky wooden box to the sleek screens we have today is a story of some absolutely incredible technological leaps. The evolution is just fascinating. We start in the early 20th century with what were basically flickering science experiments. Then there's this huge leap to the familiar sets that took over mid-century homes. The next big jump was the digital revolution in the late 1900s, which gave us a much, much sharper picture. And of course, that paved the way for what we have now, the internet-connected smart TV. And the physical change is just as dramatic. I mean, think about those old CRT sets, those deep, heavy pieces of furniture that you needed two people to move. That's because they were literally shooting electrons at the screen. Now, compare that to the screens of today, so thin you can hang them on a wall like a painting. It's a truly mind-boggling leap in engineering. So, the technology got smaller, it got sleeker, and way more powerful. But the real story is what happened when millions of these screens lit up in homes all across the world. How did this window actually change what we saw and who we became? Well, first and foremost, it became our shared storyteller for reality. I mean, think about the Vietnam War being broadcast into living rooms every night, or the fall of the Berlin Wall, witnessed live by millions. For the very first time, history wasn't just something you read about in a book. It was something you watched together, and that created a truly global conversation. But it wasn't all hard news, of course. Television absolutely mastered the art of escape. It became the home of the sitcom, the soap opera, the Saturday morning cartoon. It created those water cooler moments, shared cultural touchstones that entire nations would be talking about the next day at work. And that window to the world, it also opened up to the entire universe of knowledge. Documentaries took us to the deepest oceans and the farthest galaxies. Shows like Sesame Street proved that a TV screen could be a powerful and really fun teacher, making complex ideas accessible to absolutely everyone. But wait, the story doesn't end there. Just when we thought we knew exactly what television was, the internet came along and completely changed the game. So what exactly makes a TV smart? Well, it's one simple thing. It connects to the internet. And that single connection flipped the entire model on its head. We were no longer tied to a network schedule. Suddenly, the schedule revolved around us. And it works just like your phone, right? You connect to Wi-Fi, you pick an app like Netflix or YouTube, and boom, instantly, you're looking at a massive library of shows and movies. No more waiting for Tuesday at 8 p.m. You are now the programmer. That's the power of on-demand. And the result of all this is that the TV is no longer just a passive receiver, it's a command center. By integrating apps, games, and even web browsing, the smart TV has reasserted its dominance in the living room, becoming a powerful hub that rivals our laptops and our phones. So after this incredible journey, from a simple box to a smart hub, we have to ask the big question. Has the television's overall impact been for the better? Let's take a really balanced look at its legacy. Its legacy is a true double-edged sword. On one hand, it's a unifying force, bringing families together and opening our minds to new worlds and new ideas. But we also have to acknowledge the flip side, the endless scroll of binge watching, the hours spent on the couch instead of moving, and, yeah, the potential for it to become a drain on our time and our focus. And we really can't talk about TV's legacy without mentioning the engine that paid for it all: advertising. That 30-second commercial break didn't just sell soap, it funded the golden age of television and became this incredibly powerful force, shaping consumer culture and driving the global economy. So what's the ultimate takeaway here? I think it's this. The television survives because it adapts. It went from a box that showed you what was on to a screen that asks you what you want to see. It has constantly reinvented itself, and that's why it remains an essential and influential part of our modern lives. And so we come full circle, right back to you and that screen. After this incredible journey from a flickering box to a smart hub, the power is entirely in your hands. So the real question is, with the whole world at your fingertips, what will you choose to watch?